That is the sweet smell of tubes, ladies and gentlemen. This 1977 Marshall JMP belongs to my good friend and the Gear Podcast co-host, Troy Nababan. Troy recently sent this to Jason at Headfirst Amplification to have some mods done to it. Basically, Jason serviced it and restored it to stock 2203 specifications and added a Jose mod on a switch and a J.K. Lee mod on a switch. I'm so keen to hear this amp because when Troy first bought it, I liked it so much that we went back and re-recorded the guitars on the first Ragdoll EP with it. So if you go and check out the Ragdoll Rewound release, this amp is all over it. Songs like Foot to the Floor and The Feeling have a heavy dose of this particular amp before Jason got to it. I loved it then. I'm so keen to hear what it sounds like now. Be sure to go and check out Jason's channel, Headfirst Amplification, if you want to know all about the actual mods that he did to it. I should mention as well that I'm going to be starting with a Greco Les Paul straight into the amp. That's going to a Marshall 1960 TV cab. Thankfully, in another room, mic'd up with an SM57 off-axis, straight into Pro Tools via my UA interface. A little bit of high and low cut, tiny amount of plate reverb. All right, I think we can actually hear it now. That is a glorious thing. I don't think it needs some mods. I think it sounds fantastic as a stock 2203, but it has the mods and we will listen to them very, very soon. Something that I noticed on there is when you get that gain control up to around 1, 2 o'clock, kind of sounds like the low end really gets beefier in there. So the easy fix for that, if it's too much, is to just turn the bass control down, which is what I did right there. I think around 1 o'clock on the gain is the sweet spot with this. And if you want to add some more gain, well, there's the SAT switch and there's the J.K. Lee switch on there. And we'll hear those, like I said, but there is that setting on there labeled pain. So what I'm going to do is let you hear it at around 10 o'clock. And then at that pain setting at 11 o'clock, I will normalize the clips as well. Just keep in mind that once you get to about 11 o'clock on this amp, it is so loud. That's so interesting hearing it between, say, 10 and 11 o'clock on there, where it just kind of sounds like it really rounds out and like achieves its final form. But then when you take it up to 1 o'clock like I did there, it's ridiculous. It doesn't really get that much louder, but it kind of smooths out and you get a slightly different response. It is a little more like rumbly. I can hear the cab in the other room really exciting the small room that it's in. And I've got two cats here who aren't super stoked that I'm super loud at the moment, but you know, that's all just part and parcel of it, isn't it? Let's hear the mods. I'm gonna leave this at my kind of preferred settings, which is just like a little bit below pain on the volume control. And again, the gain control is at 1 o'clock on there. The bass is just below noon. The middle and treble are still at like 6 out of 10, 1 o'clock, whatever you want to call it on there. We will start by hearing the Jakey Lee mod, which is the bottom switch. It kind of changes up the character of the gain. I like this so much at stock settings though that, you know, I don't think it needs the mods, but it is really nice to have the options on there. So again, I'll let you hear it stock and then we'll kick in the Jakey Lee mod. There's only one riff to play. It takes it from AC/DC, Michael Schenker to Badlands, Wicked Sensation, that era of classic Marshall tones. I really like that mod on there. I suspected I would like that mod. I'm liking everything about this amp, but you know, it does change the character of the gain a little bit. It definitely makes it a bit more like in your face and screamy sounding, for use of a better term. It's not quite as like articulate though. It is a little bit more compressed. Maybe that's a way to put it. I don't know what it's doing. You should go and watch Jason's videos on this amp because he will explain everything that's going on here in absolute detail. I am just a monkey who makes guitar faces and rude noises. Let's hear the sat switch now. This is going to do the Jose mod on this amp. It is going to lower the volume. So what I'm going to do is play with the Jose switch off and then I'll kick it in and I'll just normalize the volumes in post so you can hear that. How does that sound? If the bottom switch is for the J.K. Lee mod, you should call it the Jake switch. That saturation switch kind of takes it from, classic 2203 stuff to that kind of Warren DeMartini rat modded tone. So I'm just going to put this out there. You got the Jake switch, you got the Warren switch on there as well. That's with the saturation. Let's hear the saturation mod, or the Jose mod, or the Warren switch, as I'm now going to call it for the rest of the video. Sorry, Troy, you don't have to do this. This is your amp and I'm defiling it. Part of the fun with these things anyway. I'll turn that back off and we'll just hear this guitar in drop C, which is a PRS DGT, with the sat switch off. What am I getting at? Sat switch off, Warren off, Jake off, then Warren off, Jake on. It all makes sense. Pull up stumps for this video. I'm just going to turn the camera off and edit this later and keep playing this amp because it sounds incredible as just a stock 2203. It is a really good example of that circuit. And really, has that much happened in the world of amplification after those things came out? There's the Mark series amps, very, very nice stuff. There's Soldano, there's the 5150 stuff, but come on. Do you need much more than that to just have a good time and play rock music? Probably not. Everything else is gravy on top of it. The mods on here work really, really nicely and kind of complement the amp. I don't think I would use both of them at the same time as the primary reason I would choose this amp to play. I think just at the stock settings, it is glorious, and then having the option to kick in that J.K. Lee mod if you want a slightly different vibe is really, really nice. Same thing kind of applies if you want the saturation switch and you want to basically have the amp quieter because it is unbelievably loud. That's really, really nice on there. They're classic mods for a reason, and Jason at Headfirst does incredible work. I have demoed the Alta and the Headfirst Cali here on the channel. At some point, I really want Jason to mod one of my amps or make me an amp from scratch because I am a big admirer of his work ethic, the amazing information that he puts out on his channel at Headfirst Amps. We've had him on the Gear podcast, which was incredibly instructive and just enlightening. Jason's just a good all-around dude. You know, the classic Kiwi that we Australians love to claim as one of our own. I want to hear from all of you now. What do you think of Troy's JMP? Did he do the right thing getting this modded? Because it sounds pretty sweet to my ears. And be sure to subscribe to the Gear Podcast if you want to hear us talk about this. And if you want to support my channel and keep the lights on and keep my cats fed and, you know, just having a good time making these videos, hanging out on YouTube, interacting with all of you. I'm so lucky to get to do what I do, and I am so lucky to have above average friends like Jason and Troy, and all of you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.